Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We are starting off with a significant development in Russian politics. President Vladimir Putin has replaced the head of the Udmurtia Republic, Alexander Breshilov, following his surprise resignation. Breshilov had been governing the Western Urals region for 9 years and stepped down at his own request. Putin has appointed Olga Abramova, a native of Udmurtia and former agricultural official, as the acting governor until regional elections next year. This move comes as a surprise to some political observers, as Breshilov's resignation was not anticipated. However, it's worth noting that Breshilov had been facing some challenges during his tenure, including criticism for his management style and administrative infighting. The region of Udmurtia is also home to several major arms producers, including Kalashnikov concern, which manufactures assault rifles and combat drones. It's unclear what prompted Breshilov's resignation or what his next steps will be. However, Putin's appointment of Abramova suggests that the Kremlin is looking to maintain stability in the region and ensure a smooth transition. We'll continue to monitor this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we'll be keeping an eye on other developments in Russia and around the world. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into the latest developments in international news as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy meets with world leaders to discuss the ongoing conflict with Russia. According to recent reports, Zelenskyy has been seeking support and resources to aid Ukraine's fight against Russian aggression. In a significant development, President Zelenskyy recently met with former U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House, where they reportedly found common ground on the Russia-Ukraine war. The meeting was seen as a positive step toward strengthening relations between the two nations, with discussions focusing on licenses for Patriot interceptor missiles and diplomacy with Russia. However, it's unclear whether Zelenskyy's visit to Washington yielded the concrete results he was hoping for. Former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, William Taylor, weighed in on the matter, suggesting that while the meeting was a good start, more needs to be done to support Ukraine's efforts against Russian aggression. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to consider multiple perspectives and remain informed about the complex issues at play. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments in Ukraine and providing updates as more information becomes available. In related news, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy has also been making headlines for his efforts to address internal challenges within his own government. With Labour recently overtaking Reform UK and polls, it will be interesting to see how these political shifts impact Ukraine's relationships with other nations. Welcome back to the closing segment of Barbara's Bulletin. The Senate has confirmed Jay Clayton as the new Director of National Intelligence following a contentious nomination process. Clayton, a former U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, will oversee the country's intelligence agencies, succeeding Tulsi Gabbard, who left her position last month. The confirmation vote was 51-47, with some Democrats expressing concerns that Clayton may politicize intelligence at President Trump's direction. During his confirmation hearing, Clayton was asked repeatedly about his stance on the 2020 presidential election, to which he replied that President Biden had been certified as the winner. Despite these concerns, Clayton's nomination was seen as a more conventional choice compared to President Trump's initial pick, Bill Pulte, who faced backlash for lacking national intelligence experience. As Director of National Intelligence, Clayton will play a crucial role in shaping the country's intelligence policies and overseeing the implementation of key legislation, such as the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. His confirmation may also revive congressional negotiations on Section 702 of FISA, which allows the U.S. government to collect communications involving foreigners abroad without an individual warrant. It's essential to note that Clayton's appointment has sparked mixed reactions from lawmakers, with some Democrats expressing reservations about his willingness to stand up to political pressure. Senate Intelligence Committee Vice Chair Mark Warner stated that he hopes Clayton will prove these concerns unfounded and provide the intelligence community with the steady leadership it deserves. As we conclude today's Barbara's Bulletin, we'll continue to monitor the developments in the U.S. intelligence community and provide you with in-depth analysis and updates. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.